So I think the paper we've just released, particularly the executive summary, talks about several key steps that policymakers should make right now. Number one, commit to applying evidence-based reading approaches in your country. There's actually going to be a how-to guide that is targeting policymakers inside of curriculum bodies to know how do I adapt and adjust my learning program, my reading program, to respond to the evidence. That's number one, committing to following what the evidence says. Of course, each language is different. And so it's the language experts in a country who can think about how to apply this broader global evidence to this context. But I think there's more and more evidence in this paper and in these resources that are about specific languages, including ones here in India. So number one, apply the evidence base. Number two, think about how a language of instruction fits and applies to your context. The evidence is very strong that children learn to read best in their first language, the language they speak at home. So that's idea number one. If you don't have the ability to do first language programs in the country, think about bilingual. Think about how the first language and second language interact. And if the child is not learning in their first language, how do we give them enough support so they can have the oral language development that they need to be effective in their second language? Third thing to consider is how do you make sure that teachers and the system has the support to implement this science of reading based approach. So as a country decides, yes, we want to follow these 6 different categories of instruction, and yes, we want to make sure that we have high quality learning materials, that's great, but it's not enough. Every teacher needs to have practice, they need to have the materials, they need to have professional development, and they need to have coaching that gives them feedback on an ongoing basis of what it needs to happen. Across all of these things is the explicit, specific, and comprehensive support that the program and the children need to be able to get everything that they need instructionally. So the point is that there is a great bit of evidence right now that it's children, maybe like you, are very smart, and even if you weren't taught very carefully, you would have learned how to read. But there's many children like me who need explicit instruction to know exactly how these principles apply in my language. So that explicit instruction is a big part of what countries should consider. And then finally, being able to make this comprehensive, that every lesson, every day includes decoding, includes comprehension. You have oral language, you have phonological awareness, you have fluency, you have comprehension, and you have writing. Across a full day, every child has practice across the instructional method. So I think one of the evidence changes we're seeing is that it's much easier now to be specific on what a country can and should do so they can respond to what this new evidence on science of reading would suggest.